Focusing on life here in and around Whitley County. You're listening to Mondays with the Mayor on WJHS 91.5. The city, the county, the streets and roads, and most importantly, the people. Listen in, learn, and share an opinion hosted by the students and community of Columbia City. Views and opinions expressed here do not represent WCCS, but are intended for entertainment and educational purposes. Find us online for more. Search for WJHS on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more. Now, Mondays with the Mayor.
WJHS 91.5. Today is Mondays with the Mayor. It is June, Monday the 20th. Mondays with the Mayor today. In the studio, we have a non-working computer. We have the one, the only, Mr. Jordan Glaza.
Hello, guys.
And the reason we're here, I say that every time, the one, the only again, Mr. Mayor.
Hello.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us over the summer. It's been very nice weather. I have been having fun indoors, not outside. I hate the sun.
I can relate to that as a redhead myself. I can relate to that for sure. So.
Excellent. I'm not the only one in the room.
Our purpose being here today, of course, we have a student from Columbia City High School. The voice you just heard is John Peters. My name is Mr. Jordan Glaza. I'm the media teacher here at Columbia City High School. And, of course, Mr. Ryan Daniel, who joins us from Columbia City, representing kind of the thoughts of what's going on, community events, what the people are discussing.
Yeah.
Just as kind of a way of both a heads up for the average citizen and a feedback mechanism, I guess you could say. So, of course, if you have anything for Mr. Daniel, feel free to get a hold of us here at WJHS Studios. Love having you in. This is something that WJHS Studios has been doing since at least 1990s. When
I was not mayor at that time.
Not
by the way.
at that time,
I've been alive that long.
but something historic blended with something new.
Yes.
Kind of also for a heads up for informed citizens, as well as sometimes we get off into the weeds for fun discussions in what's on the way. That being said, how have things been in and around the city?
Things are great in the city. You know, obviously we continue to see lots of movement, lots of construction, lots of things happening. That again, things that are all working on making our community better for citizens and visitors and businesses and all those kind of great things. But one of the things we are wrapping up or have recently wrapped up is the sidewalk project going around City Hall. I did want to maybe start with that only because there's been a lot of conversation about it. First Friday had happened, and a lot of people got to a front row seat, if you will, with that sidewalk project, and been getting a lot of questions about whether or not that's a heated sidewalk or what that is, and so
if it'll ever be finished,
or if ever, yeah. Yes, and it should be finished. Or I think it is finished by now. But long story short is, it is an ice melt system, and so what we have found in the past, and looking at other communities and stuff, is that this ice melt system is good because every time it ices or snows, we have to spend money on salt, and then we have to spend money on someone coming in to plow it, and then we also have the risk of an insurance claim or a lawsuit or things like that. And so what we've seen, and actually the county has this in front of the county government center currently. Not the courthouse, but the county government center itself. Yeah. They have this ice melt system, and actually they encouraged us to go that way, and so that's what we've done. But I just say that to say, I know there's been a lot of conversation about it, but we've used all in-house labor except for Flowtech, who did the actual pipes in the ground. But we used our own street crews to take the concrete out and to pour new concrete in, and it provides a safer environment, much more ADA accessible. It has the ramp pads, and obviously during the wintertime, we can ensure that our residents can get to City Hall in a safe and secure manner.
I love the fact that we're using Flowtech Plumbing and Heating,
yeah,
just a local
company.
I
absolutely.
love the fact that Columbia City is so local, but I remember the governments that are before construction, before they laid the concrete, I remember all the plumbing and tubing under the sidewalk, and I was wondering if it would be a heated sidewalk.
Yeah. So, the nice thing about the ice melt system in and of itself is anytime it's, I think, under 40 degrees, I think it kind of automatically kicks on, so that if we do have that precipitation that we don't know if it's rain or ice or sleet or grapple, if you know what grapple is, by the way. There's your term of the day.
I'm about
grapple.
to learn something new. What is grapple?
Grapple is basically it's basically a softer version of sleet. It kind of is little. It almost looks like those little styrofoam balls.
Okay.
Those little
Yeah,
bitty
yeah.
like BB kind of size.
Sure.
Anyways,
You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but we actually have talked about that before on Mondays. With
No
the Mayor.
way. Have we really?
I remember that exactly. It's very odd.
it's one of my favorite weather terms. That's probably why. But in any case, so anytime, no matter what we're having, if it's under 40 degrees, that sidewalk ice melt system is on to ensure that our residents can get to City Hall safely, and obviously besides that, it's a public sidewalk there. So
if it always seems like it's snowing less in and around the municipalities of Columbia City, there's
why.
a reason for it. Planning
Yes.
ahead, and I do appreciate that. I slipped a few years ago, really whacked my wrist real good, and of course, at the time, I'm fine. But though that really is good in planning ahead. And if anything, now that I've started to buy nicer and nicer vehicles, I appreciate people not salting everything. So looking forward some planning, some forethought.
Yeah.
Some things that are happening here at the high school or have happened. I want to give a shout out to, of course, Eagles softball winning back-to-back regional championships.
Yeah.
We actually got to go to semi-state, and it was a great game. Sadly, our girls did not walk away with a win then. But you know what? The team did go on to win a little bit further. So if you gotta you gotta lose to a good team.
Yes,
that's
I mean, it's kind of the kind of backup prize, right? That
Sure.
if you lost to the team that ultimately won it or went really far, you feel a little better about yourself even. But yeah, they had a great season. Obviously, the coach of the Lady Eagles softball is actually one of our city council members, Dan Wiegold, and so he kind of kept me up to date with what was going on there and was really obviously proud of the gals and everything that they did. So, yeah.
It was very nice. Also, a shout out to the students in film literature class putting together with Bones Theater. Shout out to you guys. The red carpet premiere, again, exclusively showing at Bones, the one-night event. You, I believe, were in attendance, Mr. Mayor. And thumbs up?
Very much thumbs up. It was amazing. First of all, it was amazing that there was standing room only, if you will. I guess there's always standing room only, but in the lobby, it was hard to. It was hard to even maneuver around there because there were so many people. In fact, I think there were so many tickets sold. You guys had to add a second show.
Yes, we did.
And then even past that, I think that second show was darn close to selling out based on what I saw. I went to the second show. So, but students did fantastic with it. I mean, some of those movies were just very, very well. I mean, they were all really well done, but some of them were even to the point where I thought, oh my gosh, this is like, you could take this to a film festival or something. They're really, really well done.
Plan. The work behind the scenes, shout out to Mrs. Melanie Mason, my co-worker, or my co-teacher as well, this past semester. Definitely a few moments that she was very proud of the students, and I, talking with her, said, this is the year we should definitely enter these at minimum into some film festival competitions.
Yeah.
Which is I believe she's been teaching the course 6-7 years now, and she broached the idea with me. So shout out there to the hard work, to the students going in, and much love to Mrs. Mason. You rock, and you do if you're hearing this right here. Yeah. Other news happens of late. The students walking for graduation, Cherubusco, shout out to them. Of course, here at Columbia City High School as well. That a very, very good day. Time this recording hits the airwaves. A lot of excitement around it for sure.
Yeah, obviously one of the things that we've been doing as a city for a while now, and obviously graduates would know this, but new graduates may not know this, or coming graduates, if you will, is that the city actually gives each and every Columbia City High School graduate a mailbox, a small mailbox, and inside that mailbox are a couple of different letters from kind of community leaders that basically just relay to them that we're proud of them, we're proud of their achievements, their accomplishments, and maybe more than anything else, we want them to go see the world and stuff and figure out what they want to do with their life and go explore and experience. And then when they're ready to settle down or they're ready to have a family or whatever, we hope that they'll consider coming back home because we'll always have a mailbox for them.
Hooray. That is, actually a very thoughtful gift. Something that everybody can use.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I mean, again, what I say is like most of my ideas are not originals. I steal them from other places that I think, oh, this is really cool that these guys do this. So actually, I think I stole that idea from somebody from a community in Iowa, I think, actually. Right. So, Iowa. Yeah, but still, I still think, again, it gets the point at home that we're really proud of our students and know they're going to go do some really great things. And we hope that some of those great things are here in their home community.
Very fun. Other notable events in and around the community that I wanted to point out, Peabody Public Library, they're having Microsoft Word Basics. I know that's kind of been an ongoing class, so if you've been wondering how to use Word and Docs and Excel and things like that, and just getting your feet into that, it can be a very useful tool. Peabody putting on a ton of events. The more I search over there, the more I come to appreciate the staff and what they're working on. Our neighbors at Sweetwater. Hello, Sweetwater. If you're unfamiliar with Sweetwater, they are amazing audio world professionals. They announced their 2022 lineup at the Performance Pavilion. I want to give a shout out to them. A lot of people have been enjoying the gorgeous weather lately. Yes. So if you're getting back into concert mode, I guess you could say, there's an Allman Brothers tribute band, Trouble No More. Pat Benatar, I know, was recently visiting. Kenny Wade Shepherd, you're going to have to check the dates on that. Night Ranger, Yacht Rock Review. The music of Led Zeppelin, Pink Droid, not Pink Floyd. No. Pink Droid is also
but well loved, by the way. Pink Droid, very well loved.
An experience is what I've heard that called. So love to give a shout out to them because I think it's fun to go to concerts, and if we're not supporting each other, what are we doing? So a shout out to Sweetwater. They're always doing good stuff. They have a big construction project under works as well, but we'll have to talk about that in the future a little bit more some other time when they announce their future lineups. That reminds us. Yeah. Okay. Update, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
On the internet, one of the biggest things in and around Columbia City, Whitley County, for a while here. Lots of construction. Since we talked last, I've actually been bumping into people. In fact, John, I think you were saying that you were looking at them installing internet at your home or in the area at least?
I did. Surf Broadband sent me a letter in the mail explaining everything of what they're doing in my property. They did have a lot of insightful information that I actually got asked because I do Mondays with the Mayor. I didn't screenshot it or anything, but I do know that they mentioned that if your sprinkler system gets destroyed, they'll come back and fix it. Yep. They will lay hay down in your yard if they mess up your terraforming on your grass. And a bunch of other very nice things where they're going the extra mile to really give it to us to make I wouldn't say the environment still look the same, even though their presence is there. But it's really interesting because I'm super excited for fiber optic. I'm sure anybody that listens to this podcast knows that that's my main topic. Yeah. But I was able to look at the pricing, and not to say the final pricing, it could be still up in the air, but I do know that there are some major ISPs in the area that will be definitely having to compete with Serve Broadband because they are offering some amazing prices. And if I was which I am a person who I'm really losing words here. If a person who resides in Columbia City, I would definitely look at Surf Broadband and their prices for fast internet. Because you actually might only be spending $5 more like I would be to get a lot better service.
Yeah, I know that one of the things that Surf has been really adamant about, really a couple of things. One or two that you've already mentioned. One is that they're going to provide very competitive pricing. Number two is that they will fix anything that they damage. So whether that's a sprinkler system, whether that's a flower bed, whether that's your your curb or your grass or whatever the case is, they're going to come back and get that fixed. I will tell you that again, I encourage this every time, but if you have issues that you want to report, go to construction.surfbroadband.com and then you can go through there and you can actually contact them and let them know what the issues are. And if after a couple couple of weeks you don't, or a week or so, you don't get response back, let us know here at the mayor's office, 260-248-5111, and we can make sure that we get a hold of them and make sure that's moving forward. I will tell you that a week or two ago, they did hook up their first customer in the city of Columbia City.
Yeah.
There we go.
They are focusing to their first kind of phase, if you will, is almost completed, which is different than the phases that they previously had laid out. So kind of the northeast segment of the city is kind of the first segment, and then they're kind of going to move west a little bit to the kind of the northwest side, and then well, let me think. So, and actually, they're going to go to the northwest side as well, up to kind of where phase 1 used to be. So they're going to be moving around the city. There's still a lot of construction happening. They're planning to continue construction through middle of next year. So just be prepared for that. That construction will continue through next year. But the important part is that they're getting that fiber into the ground. They are moving much more quickly ahead, and as I understand, there is conversations happening about going into the county. So, so for those county residents who are saying the city gets everything and we get nothing, well, first of all, you should move to the city. But second of all,
wait a minute.
Selfish comment there. But second of all, there is definitely conversation happening between your county officials and SURF to expand out into the county and to get some of those unserved areas. So that's really great news.
John, you had seen this previously when we were looking this up. You said you were getting something like 25 gigs of speed on your current plan, and that what was it that Surf was offering with these new hookups?
So 25 megabytes,
Right.
gigabytes is either way.
Gigabytes is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's very fast.
I'll openly say that right now my household is paying roughly 25 up, roughly 15 down megabytes for $45. And when I looked on their website, they were offering 100 up, 100 down megabytes for $50. I do want to note, because
four times faster.
Yes, so I do want to note that this is something they do have plans going up to 1 gigabyte of speed. That $50 plan does not offer a modem or router in there, so that's something to look at.
Yep.
It is not in the fine print. That is a very widely seen option right on their page. It's a very basic drop-down menu that they have in Chrome, but it's very easy to see. It's not in the fine print or anything, so they're really doing their best not in trying to pull a wall over your eyes, which I very much appreciate. And as a tech-savvy user like myself, a router might not be the best thing for me, because renting some routers, if you do, you might want to look at your bill. They can cost upwards to almost $30 a month I've seen for renting a router, and that can, after a while, after a few months, can really add up. And some of the best routers cost $300, so you might save some money. Yeah.
As I understand, I will tell you, I did have some conversations with them the other day, and I think actually their router, or whatever I'm not as tech savvy as you, but I think their routers really were only like $6 to $10 a month or something like that.
That's even really good.
But with that being said, again, it's a scenario where, obviously the city is not in a position, nor does it ethically endorse any specific company. But I will tell you from the broader perspective is having a fiber optic loop, having a fiber optic connection in our community does make a big difference when we go to attract those companies, attract those residents, attract those industries, because they have the fastest speed on the planet, literally. I mean, you can, gigabit communities are becoming more and more prevalent, and so the more that we can keep up with that, the better it is long term. Other nice thing about fiber in general is that it's really unlimited capacity. I mean, it just matters of what the equipment is on both ends. The capacity is very, very wide open because it's light. It's light being flashed back and forth.
And there's nothing
Fast
fast.
as light.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the speed limit of the universe. I mean, and as we go further into the years, those adapters will get upgraded. So we might even be looking at a few thousand gigabytes a second for
ridiculous.
adapters, which I
Yes.
mean could be crazy, but realistically, those speeds for fiber, they're really uncapped.
In practical terms, it means that for once, you won't be waiting on the internet. And you tapping on it, clicking on it.
It will wait for you.
It will be waiting for you always, which is really good. So that's great. Looking for construction as that continues to roll forward. Thank you for the updates, as always, on that. And of course, get a hold of the mayor's office or SURF for more details for your neighborhood specifically. Wonderful that to hear that it's getting out into the county, or at least being talked about, or official plans.
I can't confirm or deny that it's definitely being talked about. Yes.
Okay, excited. We'll see. We'll have to do a little bit more research ourselves and see which direction and where this could be expected as that conversation happens a little bit more. Okay. Other things that are on the way in and around Columbia City. Mr.
Well, obviously it's summer months, so we have lots of things that are.
Yes.
Summer is our hectic time, as you can imagine. We have lots of different things going on. It is. People, you don't have school for those students out there. You have a lot more vacations that are happening, things like that. But we have festivals, we have fairs, we have First Fridays, we have, car shows, we have all kinds of things happening. CJ's is open, so you can go get your drive-in hot dogs.
It's like the meaning of summer.
It is. CJ's is open, so now you know summer's here. But yeah, there's lots of things happening. Obviously, here right around the corner, we are basically this week is Old Settlers.
Did I hear you're dressing up?
Not.
Did you buy a hat?
I did not.
You didn't. We need to make.
Did you hear something I didn't know about?
No, I just made that up right here. But I was hoping you would have a hat or at least a vest or something.
Some kind of Old Settlers stuff. Yeah. So Old Settlers obviously is a long time festival, 100 and some years, I think, if I remember correctly.
I was just reading about this. So 1904, and the only time that it really shut down is like the flu pandemic of 1918.
Yes.
This is historic when it originally started. I was just reading here that it was when the pioneers would essentially return a little bit, and it was cause for celebration, which I think is awesome. 1904. Yeah, and obviously it has changed and morphed and all that kind of stuff throughout the years, but I know that the current Old Settlers Committee have really put an emphasis on how can we make this more than just a midway, and so midway and concerts and the things that we normally do. And so I really want to shout out, if you will, to the Old Settlers Committee, because they've put a lot of effort and hard work into making this more than just a midway, and so I really appreciate that. Obviously, there's going to be lots of different events happening. We have pickleball tournament that's coming up this weekend. We have there's a RC car race, I think, that's happening later this week. We have it's Friday, 5:30.
Young Settlers Days parade of some sort that's happening, I think, around the courthouse square, and of course we have our annual Old Settlers Day parade that happens on this coming Saturday that will be at 6 p.m. So obviously, certainly we'll be in it and looking forward to it, as we always do. We'll be taking a walk and seeing people and doing all the things that we normally do. But
pickleball tournament, cornhole tournament. The county courthouse always involved, well known for its food to destroy diets wherever you come from.
Elephant ears are back this year. So just so you know, I've gotten confirmation that our Shriner friends will be providing elephant ears again this year, which is exciting for lots of people.
It's a small community when they get excited about the elephant ears coming back.
Yes, indeed. Well, so it was gone, I think, last year, and that caused obviously a lot of consternation among people, because when you go downtown, you have your specific things that you want to get. For me personally, we get an elephant ear, we get some corn dogs, and obviously we try to get some spiral spuds or something like that. Again, total diet busters, of course, but we have to do a couple of kids rides for my daughter, but it's always a great time. We see lots of people down there. Obviously, have lots of conversations with individuals just about what's happening, and get to know people, or at the very least get to see people again that we haven't seen in a while. And it's a great time. Invite everybody, come down. Midway's open Tuesday through Saturday, and there's a couple wristband days in there as well. I think you can get most of the information on the website,
oldsettlers.net.
There you go.
Are you sure you're not wearing like a vest minimum something?
I should get maybe something in wool.
Just
during
something
the one of the last weeks of June, I should wear something really heavy and hot like wool.
What did the mayor wear in 1904?
Yes. Well, maybe there's probably a 4 or 5 or 6 piece suit probably that was worn back then for the mayor, but we'll see.
Wear it with
that's
pride.
That's true. I could.
Custom handmade. Awesome always to see oldsettlers.net if you want to check out more information about that. Something to always look forward to. Of course, also something to be aware of as you go just to drive around Columbia City. Yeah, you might have a little bit of trouble getting through downtown. It's with good reason.
Indeed.
I love the setup that we have that we go through. So looking forward to the Midway and some of the activities this month.
Sure.
Other events that are on the way: Whitley County Fair coming up July 15th. Huntington Fair, that's the 23rd, starting Saturday, and Kosciuszko also in July the 10th.
Yeah, and obviously one of the questions I've been getting a lot of recently is, hey, when are fireworks going to take place for Independence Day? And that date has not changed for quite some time, but it's a great time to remind you that it will be on July 3rd. We have always had, I shouldn't say always, for many, many years now, we have had fireworks on July 3rd. First of all, we get it. Excuse the pun, a bigger bang for our buck. Number one. Number two is you're welcome. You're welcome for that one.
Wow.
Number two, obviously, with the 4th of July happening on a Monday, it's good to have that on that day before because then people can sleep in or they can go to parties or whatever and celebrate on the 4th. But we do encourage you to join us at Morses Park on July 3rd that evening. I think we usually start about 5 or 6 o'clock at night, and fireworks are typically around 10:15ish. But we'll have music
dark.
Yes, when it's dark. But we'll have music. We'll have obviously lots of food vendors. We'll have bounce houses. It's going to be a great time, as it always is, and really encourage individuals to come out for that.
Man, plenty of things that are always happening in and around Columbia City. You got a little thriving neighborhood, if you don't mind me saying there, Mr. Daniel.
Well, I would say this. We have a lot of people working, as I usually say, we have a lot of people working toward the goals. We have a lot of people working toward the betterment of our community. And when you have people working together, you see great results. And that's what we're seeing right now.
Fun. Okay. Mondays with the mayor. Across me is Mr. Ryan Daniel from Columbia City. John Peters right here, one of our student hosts.
Thank you.
What do you got that you're pointing at?
Just to wrap it up, finally. Not finally, that sounds bad, but just to wrap a few things up to talk about. We talked about a lot of stuff, so I'm glad we ended 5 minutes early. Wrapping up, so to start off.
To begin, the end.
Yes, to begin the end. What we talked about, wrapping up the sidewalk projects around City Hall with the ice melting systems, alternatively to save money in Columbia City. We talked about the Columbia City sports, ladies softball mostly. I'm going to semi-state at Harrison High School in West Lafayette a few Saturdays ago. The ETA Film Fest that we had a little while ago, doing amazing this past spring semester. We also talked about the high school graduation and the 2022 graduate mailboxes that you heard here first. Ryan Daniel stole the idea. We also
as most of my good ideas are stolen,
implemented in new ways.
Exactly.
Reinvented. Let's say it reinvented.
Yes. We also talked about the Peabody Public Library doing a Microsoft Excel program. Learning program, I believe.
And plenty of other activities, not just that, but one notable.
Sweetwater announced their 2022 lineup for their concerts. I couldn't write a single one down. Maybe if Mr. Glaza wants to inform a few of the bands that are coming.
One that I'm remember is Kenny Wayne Shepherd was on the way, as well as Pink Droid. Not Pink Floyd, Pink Droid, the electronic version music of Pink Floyd, done with amazing light shows. It's an experience, is what I've heard. Shameless plug for Sweetwater over there. Plenty of other concerts in the lineup. Also, Warsaw, Fort Wayne. It seems things are coming back out in force lately.
Yeah.
Feels like COVID has finally removed its shroud of entertainment, and everyone's back. The weather's been gorgeous. I can't blame people for
absolutely
the Breaking Benjamin show a couple of weeks ago. Students and staff alike were like, "I bought a T-shirt. I bought 2 T-shirts. I got really excited. I got 3." It was
wear them as pants.
Great to see.
Yes. Also, the fiber optic plan construction. What was the website? I heard somebody say, was it construction.surfbroadband.net or .com?
.com, yeah.
That's where you can go if you have any more questions about what they're doing. The first customer was recently hooked up in Columbia City, so that's pretty nice. We also talked about CJ's opening car shows and right around the corner for Old Settlers.
Yeah.
And they are also doing their best to make this more than just a midway show. If you want to hear more about Old Settlers, really just find information, you can go to oldsettlers.net to find out more information about all of their carnivals and stuff like that. And to wrap it up, we talked about the 4th of July event that Columbia City is holding on July 3rd.
That's right. Independence Day celebration.
Yes, that evening around 5 or 6 o'clock at Morshes Park, there'll be lots of food vendors, a bouncy castle, and then fireworks will be getting shot off right around 10 p.m. when it gets dark.
Yep. One more
Fireworks
shout.
don't work as well in the daylight.
That's true. You can't see, although you can hear them, but you can't see them. One more shout out, by the way. I know our boys golf team won sectionals for the first time in a while, so that was a really cool thing. Yes, and I happen to have one of those golfers as an intern this year, this summer, for the month of June, and so just want to shout out to them. I know they had a really great season, and honestly, it's really kind of cool to see across the board a lot of our Columbia City High School teams, both academic and athletic, have done a really great job this year.
And to share behind the scenes, golf coaches, be on the lookout for Gatorade getting spilled all over you. That
and
was
water bottle.
There's a good video out there.
Poor
Let's say that.
Andrew Thompson got absolutely.
I didn't want to drop names.
Oh, I will. It's on Twitter.
Good job, guys.
Yes.
They got him good.
Guess who's looking on Twitter right now?
And if you don't know, Mondays with the Mayor is always posted up on WJHS Studios YouTube channel. So if you heard this and you're listening on the radio and you want to hear this again or you want to pick out a certain part of it,
Past shows, future shows.
You can always go down into the description of this show and there'll be timestamps there of all the topics that we talk about for chapters. So you can look there. Thanks to me. This has been Jonathan Peters with Mondays with the Mayor, in the studio, Jordan Glaza, and the reason we're here, Mr. Ryan Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Join us next time, Mondays with the Mayor, here on WJHS 91.5, The Eagle, broadcasting from Columbia City High School. Views and opinions expressed here do not represent WCCS. Search for WJHS on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more. Write to us your comments and questions to be voiced on the air. WJHS is 91.5, The Eagle.